Ever felt like you don't belong here? Like there's something bigger calling you, whispering through the silence when everyone else is asleep? Here's a truth that might shake everything you thought you knew. You're not just from the universe. You literally are the universe experiencing itself. The atoms dancing in your cells right now were forged inside ancient stars that exploded billions of years ago, scattering cosmic dust that eventually became you. This isn't poetry or mysticism. It's pure science meeting spiritual awakening. And understanding this connection is the first step toward true enlightenment and personal development. The cosmic blueprint within you. Your body isn't separate from the cosmos. It's a walking, breathing piece of stardust that's been on a journey for billions of years. Every calcium atom in your bones, every iron molecule in your blood, every carbon structure in your DNA was literally created in the nuclear furnace of a dying star. When scientists say we're made of stardust, they're not being metaphorical. They're describing the fundamental reality of your existence and your connection to the energy that flows through all things. Think about it. The universe didn't just create you, it became you, transformed itself into consciousness so it could look back at itself and ask, "Who am I?" That's not just science. That's the ultimate spiritual awakening wrapped in cosmic truth. This realization shifts everything about how you see yourself and your place in existence. You're not a stranger visiting Earth. You're nature itself taking human form, experiencing what it's like to laugh, cry, dream, and wonder. The water flowing through your veins right now. Dinosaurs drank that same water millions of years ago. The electrical pulses firing in your brain mirror the lightning crackling across storm clouds. When you breathe, you're participating in the same exchange of energy that trees have been doing for millions of years. Your spiritual growth isn't about becoming something new. It's about remembering what you've always been. Most people walk through life feeling disconnected, searching outside themselves for meaning, when the entire universe is literally humming inside their cells. This isn't just feel-good philosophy. Understanding your cosmic origins fundamentally changes your relationship with healing, inner peace, and your higher self. When you grasp that you're not separate from nature but an expression of it, suddenly meditation becomes less about finding yourself and more about remembering your true self. The spiritual portal you've been seeking? It's been open inside you all along, written in the language of atoms and stardust, waiting for your consciousness to catch up. The language of connection. Learning to speak as a child follows the same pattern as baby birds learning to sing. We're all students of the natural world, mimicking patterns that have existed long before us. Your brain doesn't operate on some isolated frequency. It's tuned to the same rhythms that govern oceans, seasons, and the rotation of galaxies. When you struggle to find the right words to express what you're feeling during your awakening, remember this. You're trying to translate cosmic energy into human language, and that's never been easy. The universe speaks in frequencies, vibrations, and patterns. Sometimes a gut feeling or a dream carries more truth than 1,000 words could ever capture. This parallel between human development and nature's systems reveals something profound about spiritual development and personal growth. Just as forests grow through cycles of death and rebirth, shedding old growth to make room for new life, you're designed to transform, to release outdated versions of yourself. Notice how nature doesn't rush. An oak tree doesn't stress about becoming an oak. It simply follows its blueprint. Yet we push ourselves, forcing transformation like we're separate from these natural laws. Here's a practical step. Spend 10 minutes tomorrow observing something in nature, a plant, an insect, clouds moving. Watch how it exists without apology, without hurrying, and ask yourself what lesson it's teaching about your own spiritual journey. The beauty of recognizing these connections is that nature becomes your greatest teacher for self-knowledge and elevating your soul. When you feel the spiritual isolation that comes with awakening, that sense that nobody around you understands what you're experiencing, look to the natural world. A single tree in a field might appear alone, but beneath the soil, its roots connect to an entire network, sharing nutrients and information with other trees miles away. You're part of that same invisible network, an energetic portal linking every conscious being. The calling you feel isn't leading you away from others. It's inviting you deeper into the web of connection that's always existed. The electric pulse of being your brain generates electrical impulses that are fundamentally the same type of energy as lightning splitting the sky. This isn't metaphor, it's measurable, observable reality that bridges the gap between science and what mystics have been saying for centuries about energy and consciousness. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel, every moment of insight during meditation is electricity dancing through neural pathways, the same force that powers storms and northern lights. When you experience energetic hypersensitivity, feeling drained in crowds, absorbing others, emotions, sensing energy shifts in rooms, you're tapping into this electrical nature of existence. You're not broken or overly sensitive. You're just more aware of the energetic reality most people ignore. Understanding yourself as an electrical being transforms how you approach healing and maintaining inner peace. Think of your body like a battery that needs proper charging. Spending time in nature isn't just relaxing. It's literally grounding excess electrical charge back into the earth. This is why walking barefoot on grass, swimming in natural water, or sitting against a tree can shift your entire state of being within minutes. These aren't superstitions. They're practical applications of your electrical nature. Try this. Next time you feel overwhelmed or anxious, find a natural body of water or put your bare feet on earth for 15 minutes. Pay attention to how your system recalibrates, how the buzzing in your mind quiets as your personal energy syncs with Earth's frequency. This electrical understanding also explains why certain environments drain you, while others elevate your soul and support your transformation. Artificial lighting, electromagnetic fields from devices, concrete separating you from Earth. These disrupt your natural electrical flow, creating the exhaustion and disconnection so many people feel. Your higher self knows this. That's why you feel called to nature, to silence, to spaces where you can reset your frequency. The 7 symptoms of spiritual awakening, the exhaustion, the heightened sensitivity, the need for solitude, the questioning of reality. These are partly your electrical system upgrading, learning to process higher frequencies of consciousness that don't match the artificial world most people accept as normal. The chronological thread. The elements composing your physical form originated inside stars that died before our solar system even existed. You're not just living in time, you're woven through time, a continuation of processes that began billions of years ago and will continue long after your current form dissolves. This perspective shift is crucial for true spiritual growth because it demolishes the illusion that you're separate, temporary, or insignificant. You're a chapter in a story that has no beginning or end, a wave in an ocean that's always been moving. When people talk about past lives or eternal souls, they're touching on this truth. The matter and energy that form you have been recycling through the cosmos forever, taking different shapes, playing different roles. Grasping your place in this chronological thread changes everything about how you face death, loss, and impermanence. The fear that keeps most people trapped in small lives, the terror that they'll cease to exist, loses its grip when you realize you've never truly existed as something separate in the first place. You're the universe experiencing itself temporarily as a human, and when this experience ends, the energy and atoms return to the cosmic cycle, ready for new expressions. This isn't cold or depressing. It's profoundly liberating. It means every moment of this particular consciousness, your specific human experience, is precious precisely because it's temporary. Like a unique song the universe is singing that will never be repeated exactly the same way. This understanding of your cosmic timeline also reveals why you feel the calling toward awakening at this specific moment in your life. The universe doesn't waste energy. If you're experiencing spiritual vision, questioning reality, sensing there's more beyond the material world, it's because your consciousness has reached a point in its evolution where these questions serve a purpose. You're not randomly having these experiences. They're the natural unfoldment of awareness recognizing itself. Stardust waking up to the fact that it's stardust. Everything you've experienced, every joy, trauma, relationship failure, has been preparation for this recognition, building the complexity needed for this level of self-knowledge. The water you carry. The water flowing through your body today has been cycling through Earth systems for billions of years. The same water dinosaurs drank, the same water that filled ancient oceans, the same water that will nourish beings long after you're gone. This simple fact contains profound implications for understanding your connection to all life and your place in the web of existence. You're not drinking your water. You're temporarily borrowing it from the planetary cycle, sharing this resource with every living thing that's ever existed or ever will. When you cry, you're releasing water that might have once been rain in a prehistoric forest. When you sweat, you're participating in the same cooling mechanism the Earth uses to regulate itself. This water connection offers a direct, tangible way to practice presence and deepen your relationship with the universe. Next time you drink water, pause for just 10 seconds and consider. This liquid passing through you has been ice at the poles, vapor in clouds, blood in animals, sap in trees, and tears in countless eyes across millions of years. You're drinking history, drinking connection, drinking the universe itself. This simple awareness practice, really feeling your relationship with water, can open doors to consciousness that hours of complex meditation sometimes miss. It grounds spiritual concepts in physical reality, which is exactly what many awakening people need when they get lost in abstractions and lose touch with their body. The water within you also explains why you feel called to oceans, rivers, or rain during periods of intense transformation and personal development. Water is the ultimate symbol and literal carrier of emotional energy, of flow, of cleansing and renewal. When you're stuck in old patterns, when you're holding trauma or outdated beliefs, spending time with water, swimming, bathing, listening to rain, helps your system remember how to flow, how to release, how to trust the natural cycles of death and rebirth. Water doesn't cling to the shape of yesterday's container. It adapts, it moves, it finds new paths. That's the lesson your soul needs during awakening, learning to be like water, maintaining your essential nature while flowing into new forms, growing like forests. Human bodies grow following the same fundamental patterns as forests, both building complex systems through repeated cycles of growth, death, and renewal. Your cells are constantly dying and being replaced, just as trees shed leaves and grow new ones, and entire forests rise and fall over centuries. This parallel reveals a crucial truth about transformation. It's not a one-time event, but a continuous process built into your nature. You're never done growing, never finished evolving, because you're made of the same creative force that drives forests to reach toward light and roots to dig toward water. The calling you feel isn't toward a final destination called enlightenment. It's toward participating more consciously in the growth process that's been happening anyway. Understanding this forest-like nature of your development changes how you approach the challenges and setbacks that come with awakening. When a tree faces drought, it doesn't question its worth or wonder if it's doing growth wrong. It adapts, slows down, focuses energy on survival, and waits for conditions to change. Yet we judge ourselves harshly for needing rest, for going through periods where spiritual growth seems to stall, for facing dark nights of the soul, where everything feels dead and meaningless. These fallow periods aren't failures. They're part of the natural cycle, necessary preparation for the next phase of growth. A practical example: if you've been pushing hard with meditation, energy work, and constant self-improvement, try giving yourself one full week of zero spiritual practice. Just rest, live simply, and notice what insights emerge when you stop forcing. The forest teaches another vital lesson about community and interconnection that directly addresses the spiritual isolation many awakening people experience. Individual trees appear separate above ground, but their root systems intertwine below, creating vast networks where older trees nurture younger ones, sharing nutrients and even warning each other about threats through chemical signals. You're part of a similar network, even when you feel alone in your awakening. Even when nobody in your immediate circle understands what you're experiencing, you're connected through invisible channels to others on this path. Your job isn't to force connections with people who aren't ready. It's to keep growing authentically, trusting that your roots will find the network that's already waiting. The Mirror in Everything. The book reveals how common human experiences parallel other phenomena throughout the cosmos, creating a mirror that reflects our nature back to us in countless ways. This mirroring isn't coincidence, it's evidence that the same intelligence, the same patterns, the same creative force operates at every scale of existence, from quantum particles to galaxies. When you learn to see these mirrors, nature becomes a constant teacher, offering guidance for every question you face on your spiritual journey. Feeling stuck in your personal growth? Look at how rivers handle obstacles. They don't stop. They flow around, over, or through, sometimes taking centuries to reshape stone. Struggling with transformation? Watch how caterpillars dissolve completely in their cocoons before emerging as butterflies, trusting a process they can't see or understand. These mirrors throughout nature provide practical, accessible wisdom for navigating the often confusing 7 symptoms of spiritual awakening. The exhaustion you feel? Look at how bears hibernate, how trees go dormant in winter. Rest isn't weakness. It's how nature handles major transitions. The heightened sensitivity and energetic hypersensitivity that makes normal life overwhelming. Consider how migrating birds sense Earth's magnetic fields, how whales communicate across thousands of miles using frequencies most creatures can't hear. You're developing new sensory capacities, and sensitivity is the price of expansion. The questioning of everything you once believed. Watch how snakes shed their skin. What protected them at one size becomes a constraint they must leave behind to continue growing. Learning to read these natural mirrors transforms your relationship with uncertainty and the unknown aspects of your awakening. You don't need expensive courses, complicated systems, or gurus to understand what's happening to you. The universe is offering free lessons everywhere, encoded in the behavior of animals, the patterns of weather, the cycles of celestial bodies. Here's a practice. Choose one thing in nature that fascinates you. Mushrooms, spiders, thunderstorms, whatever calls to you, and spend a week learning about it. Not from a spiritual book, but from actual science and observation. Then ask yourself what this phenomenon teaches about your current life situation. The answers that emerge from this practice often carry more truth and practical wisdom than 100 abstract spiritual concepts. The invitation to remember. This entire exploration isn't teaching you something new. It's inviting you to remember what you've always been, to wake up to the reality your higher self has never forgotten. The calling you feel, the restlessness that won't let you settle for ordinary existence, the sense that there's something more you're meant to understand. These aren't signs you're lost. They're signs you're remembering, waking from the trance of separation that culture hypnotizes us into accepting. You're not becoming spiritual. You're recognizing that you've never been anything else. The atoms in your body prove it. The electrical impulses in your brain demonstrate it. The water in your cells carries the evidence. You are and have always been the universe experiencing itself. This remembering process is the real spiritual portal, the genuine awakening that all the ancient traditions point toward in their different languages. It's not about achieving some special state, gaining magical powers, or escaping human existence. It's about fully inhabiting your nature, living as the cosmic being you actually are while walking around in human form. When you drink water, you'll know you're communing with ancient oceans. When you breathe, you'll feel yourself participating in the same exchange that keeps forests alive. When you think, you'll sense the electrical nature you share with storms. This isn't about believing something. It's about direct recognition, moment-to-moment awareness of what's actually true. The implications of this remembering ripple into every aspect of your existence, from how you treat your body, to how you relate to other beings, to how you understand your purpose. If you're truly Stardust becoming conscious of itself, then healing isn't about fixing something broken. It's about clearing the blockages that prevent your natural wholeness from expressing. Inner peace isn't something you achieve. It's what emerges when you stop fighting your cosmic nature and align with the flow you've always been part of. Your soul doesn't need elevating. It needs you to stop pretending it's small, limited, and separate. The mysticism you're drawn to isn't escape from reality. It's seeing reality more clearly than the consensus trance allows. So here's the real question. Now that you know you're not just in the universe, but are the universe, what changes? Will you keep living like you're separate, small, and powerless? Or will you step into the cosmic truth of your nature? Every breath you take is stardust breathing. Every choice you make is the universe choosing. Every moment of awareness is consciousness recognizing itself. This isn't responsibility to terrify you. It's freedom to liberate you from every small story you've been telling about who you are and what's possible. What part of your life is begging for this cosmic perspective right now? Where are you treating yourself as separate when you could be experiencing connection? How would your biggest problem shift if you approached it not as a limited human, but as stardust temporarily playing human? And what would it mean to live one full day, just one, with complete awareness that you are nature, you are the cosmos, you are the consciousness that lights up existence? Don't let this knowledge become another interesting idea you file away and forget. Subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because we're diving deeper into these truths, exploring consciousness, dismantling illusions, and remembering together what we've always been. The universe didn't wake up inside you by accident. It's time to find out why.